Hi, thanks for joining us for an overview on what's new in Sales Automation 24/2. I'm Rebecca Miller, Senior Product Strategy Manager here at Pega, and I'm happy to be joined by Frank Martin, Senior Director of Product Management for Sales Automation. Welcome, Frank.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Frank, your team has been busy building out some really exciting new and enhanced capabilities that are optimizing seller and customer experiences. But before we get into the details of the launch, I'd like to start out by highlighting the most recent Gartner Critical Capabilities report for Salesforce Automation, where Pega was ranked as the top scoring vendor across all sales use cases evaluated. That's B2B, B2C, and indirect relationship sales. This is the fourth year in a row where we've been recognized as the top ranked solution in this report. And it's a true testament to the continued investment that the Pega team is making to ensure that businesses are equipped with a next generation sales solution that is built for today's rapidly changing environment, as well as for the future. And in Pega Infinity 24/2, we are empowering enterprises and organizations to do even more. So in this release, we're unlocking new potential by empowering developers to implement faster than ever before, enabling every employee to be the best employee, and helping businesses to contextualize every customer journey and experience. In sales automation, this all results in increased sales velocity and productivity, as well as the ability to anticipate customer needs. Now, starting out with how 24/2 is increasing velocity and productivity, making every seller your best seller. Our Pega Gen AI coach that guides sellers with best practices, as well as Pega's deep workflow data, is now even more personalized across sales use cases. Frank, can you give us an overview on our enhanced Pega Gen AI coach now available in 24/2?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're really excited about the Gen AI Coach. We've made a lot of investment in this over the 24/2 release. As you know, this is a platform feature, but we have adopted it in our own internal sales automation. And now we're taking all of those enhancements and we're productizing them for our customers in 24/2. And so one of the big enhancements is what we call a guided coach. And a guided coach is a way for your thought leadership of your sales organization, your sales management, to define specific coaches within a case. So on an opportunity, we ship with a case review coach, a contact engagement coach, a competitive intelligence coach, but you can build your own coaches based on your leads, your opportunities, what your business process is. And then within each of those coaches, we can have recommended questions. So the sales rep can pick, here's the top 10 questions in this coach that you should be asking based on your sales methodology, based on how your sales management wants to guide the sales teams through that selling process. So it's more focused, it's more based on your methodology. And I think it guides sales reps in the direction that sales management wants them to go. So that is the guided coaches. And then we have landing page coaches, which can also be guided coaches. But these are able to assess more than one case. So traditionally, Gen AI Coach was a case coach, and it can look at a case and give you guidance on moving a case forward. But landing page coaches can look at a list of data. So this is great, for example, for a sales manager. So now a sales manager can open up their opportunity list screen, and they can filter on, show me all the opportunities for this quarter, that are greater than $250,000 in my territory. And you can then ask coach a question and it will look across all of those opportunities. So that can be 80 opportunities, right? And the sales manager can ask, hey, which of these deals in my territory are at risk? Which ones are lacking engagement? Where has there been significant change across these opportunities in the last month? And it can actually answer those questions by looking at a larger list of data, right? So as these large language models have more larger prompt size, you can pass more and more data into it. And so now we're able to analyze large sets of data.
This is awesome, Frank. So I love how Coach is surfacing insights and best practices through both these guided coaches that provide an extra level of precision, as well as landing page coaches that allow sales managers to really understand the full breadth of the business. And this can make a huge impact on overall sales efficiency. And speaking of sales efficiency, Earlier this year, we announced our Pega Gen AI Automate for email within our Outlook add-in feature. And now we're taking this even further with Gen AI powered email directly available within our sales automation application. Can you share more on this?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we had in 24.1 was the ability to create new emails in our Outlook add-in while you're in your Outlook. The release before that, we could do generated replies to emails. We've now taken all of that Outlook functionality, the Outlook add-in functionality, and we've pulled it into the web portal so that users, sales reps can now, if you're in the context of a contact or an account, an opportunity, you can draft a new email right there and use Gen AI to help you write the email or even the reply to the email while you're in your web portal, right? So this kind of goes back to the whole, we try to reduce context switching and allow salespeople to do the work where they are. So you can use sales automation in your Outlook, but if you're in sales automation and you want to send an email, you don't have to go over to Outlook. You send it there, and all the AI capabilities are right there in the portal so that they can do it from sales automation.
We know that email is still a hugely popular channel that customers use to communicate with businesses. But we also know that for the past several years, virtual meetings have gained significant popularity, and we continue to see them play a frequent role in sales communications and sales meetings. So, can you share how we have continued to innovate our real-time video meeting add-in to address client needs?
Yeah, absolutely. So in the last release, and a big popular feature we showed at PegaWorld was the video meeting add-in for Zoom and WebEx. We're now bringing that same video meeting capability into Teams, right? And that's what we heard from a lot of customers at PegaWorld. They love the feature, but we use Teams. Can you add it there? And so we've got that in Teams now in 24.2. A lot of the same capabilities are there. So, if you open up a Teams meeting now, you open up that add-in on the right. If 5 of your customers join this B2B business call or one person in B2C joins the call, we automatically bring up profiles for those people so you know who they are. You can see things about your relationship with them. You can see recent engagement. You can see the pulse feed, any digital activity for those people. We show the opportunity related to the people that you're meeting with. So we're giving you a full snapshot from sales automation of everyone you're meeting with in your meeting. And then on top of that, we make it actionable, right? So now we have voice AI, so you can surface cases or knowledge right there in the meeting. So if they mention that they want to, have a meeting next Thursday, we can surface a recommendation and actually help you create that meeting. We can surface knowledge if they mention a competitor and push that right there live during the call. So that's all in Teams now. And then we also added a meeting coach to our video meeting add-in that lets you ask questions right there during the meeting. So you can right there in the meeting coach while you're in the meeting say, hey, who are the key decision makers and when was our last engagement with them? And you can get the answer right there in a conversational interface during your meeting in Microsoft Teams.
It's fantastic how we're combining these capabilities to really be able to make a major impact on how a seller is spending time during their busy day-to-day routines. But how does this apply to building pipeline and understanding forecast data?
Yeah, so in the forecast capability, this release, we've based on customer feedback, we've added more flexibility in how you can view your forecast. In the past, we've had filters on the forecast, but we didn't have levels of aggregating your forecast. And so in 24.1 last release, we added reporting hierarchy. So you can actually see a forecast based on reporting hierarchy in our Constellation forecast screen. And now we've added territory. And so now you can, if you're the VP of North America, then you look at your forecast, you can look at your whole forecast. You can look at for people that report under you and under them, or you can view it by territory. And as you change these views, the rows in the forecast view change. So you can look at people, you can toggle over to territory. And so you can see what is my goal, how far am I from my goal, where are my deals within the forecast categories, how much have I closed, and aggregate based on different things. And then our roadmap is to add product next. So now you can actually view the forecast by your different product areas.
This is great. And it's such a helpful tool for sales managers, for sales ops, and for sales reps. Now, as the sales process continues to progress, it's also really important to be able to streamline pricing and quoting. Can you share how our new sales automation price books capability is increasing velocity across the sales cycle?
Yeah, so we're building on what we did in 24.1, which is horizontal quoting. Before that, our philosophy was really that a lot of quoting is vertical specific, right? So we had, complex quoting around plans in healthcare and other verticals. But what we heard from customers is our horizontal customers wanted to do quoting too. So in 24.1, we built quotes, but the pricing was external integration to get from an external system. We now have the ability to build price books right in sales automation in 24.2, and you can have different price books for different tiers. You may have gold, silver, bronze customers, maybe geography. You can build as many price books as you want and apply those to your quotes, and it will use the appropriate pricing when you're building out your quote.
So, Frank, it's clear that 24/2 is empowering every seller to be the best possible seller. And we know this also translates into being able to provide an optimal customer experience. So let's talk about how we are leveraging Pega's Customer Decision Hub and their one-to-one customer engagement engine to optimize customer experiences in sales. Can you give an overview on what's new here?
Yeah, sure. So what we're seeing is more overlap in customers with CDH, right? And we've always had the ability, and we've always had customers that use both, where you can bring up a contact in sales automation and you can show the offers for that person. If they're in CDH, we go grab the offers and show them in real time. But that requires you to open up the contact first to see the offers. What we're building and productizing, and there have been demos around this, but now it is hardened product where you can show all the offers across all the contacts in sales automation. So that we actually run through all the contacts in sales automation. We find the top offers in CDH for those people. We persist them. You can run an agent to refresh them. And then when the user logs in, we go and we do a final refresh of them in real time as they're logging in to show you, hey, here are the top offers across all your contacts. So, it kind of opens up a whole different door. You don't have to be talking to the contact or have their record open. We're now saying, hey, look, there's a top propensity offer for these 3 contacts in your book of business. You might not have known about it, but they're downloading white papers and, they're on your website and there's a lot of digital activity around these people. And you probably want to follow up with them. And then you can take that offer and create a leader opportunity right there in your pipeline. So it finds offers across all your contacts, not just the one that you happen to be looking at.
This is awesome. And it's looking at that real time data so a seller knows exactly when and how to present potential offers. It's a great opportunity for cross selling and upselling opportunities. In addition to offers, the team has also done some great work on enhancing our explainable AI within our lead scoring capabilities. Are you able to share a little bit more on this?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been using the adaptive models for a while in the product, right? And showing propensities. But what we're doing now in 24.2 is we're showing sort of in our Constellation prediction widget, we show you the top predictors impacting a lead score in a more of a bar chart instead of the spider chart. But more importantly, we're telling you exactly why we've made that prediction, right? So when you show predictions to salespeople, people are generally skeptical as to like, well, why? How do I know that that's accurate, right? And we've also always showed the predictors in the spider chart, but now it's much easier to consume in that it is a bar chart. It's very easy to see these are the positive and negative predictors. But then on top of that, we use generative AI to give a natural language explanation of what's behind that prediction. So for the predictors, you can see, these are the factors that are positively impacting the prediction. It could be a lead score. This is on opportunities too, likelihood to move to the next stage or close the opportunity. You can see these are the top positive things. These are the top negative things in natural language sentences. So you can really understand what's behind that prediction.
This is a really cool feature. And I think it's so relevant as AI becomes more commonplace within business processes. Sellers and employees want to know why AI decisions are being made, and being able to have this easily viewed explanation is so important and helps them better understand their overall business. So, Frank, we've covered a lot of ground here. Thank you so much for taking us through what's new in 24.2. If you are interested in learning more about what is new within the Infinity platform, be sure to visit us on Pega Community. as well as on Pega.com, where you can learn more about how clients are using our technology today. Thanks for joining.